bluff. We rise, we stand, we fight together for the children, for a better forever. When you kunaka pano, we take the rain. Tikonza jiko. Kwenyu ndemwe chawe mabanja wananjala mkomo ndalama zonse mutumbalano masukwa kuchuluka pa mutupatu. Time is up, time is up. Kwenyu not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. Time is up, time is up. Kwenyu not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. Kanizanu ndizo panda pindu anakulira miseu mwatu tikufuna chilengede chatopano osati mapocket anu opindika ndalama. Listen to the cries, they're louder than your lies. You can't silence the truth. It's time for the youth. Time is up, time is up. Kwenyu is not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. Time is up, time is up. Kwenyu not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. We rise, we stand, we fight together for the children, for a better forever. When you kunaka pano, we take the rain. Tikonza jiko.
Good day and welcome to today's broadcast. Today we are having an urgent broadcast and I'll be privileged to host the Socialist Party President, Dr. Fred M'membe. There have been events, they say one day is a long time in politics and a lot of things can change. We'll also use the opportunity just to discuss a lot of things that is happening in Zambia, in the region, and his recent visit to Burkina Faso. What was the experience? There are troubled waters in the opposition. I had to issue, as official spokesperson of the Patriotic Front, I had to issue a statement to halt premature campaigns, illegal endorsements, and there was a flurry of debate around it that we're stifling debate. We're quarantining our potential presidential candidates. But my statement and the statement of the party was very clear. We have to wait for a calendar of a campaign period. And the Central Committee has to authorize and give us a date for elections. And there's another matter. There are 9 candidates that paid. And for example, we have new people that are expressing interest in the position, and we open up beyond the 9. So there are all those matters that the Central Committee will resolve. The Central Committee of the Patriotic Front is holding its meeting tomorrow on Sunday, and you'll be appraised of the decisions around these matters. We saw today in the morning a picture of our acting president, Kelvin Lubinda, with Makebi Zulu and with Joseph William Dolo. And, these are 2 people that have expressed recently interest to contest the PF presidency. And then the last one that has necessitated this debate was yesterday there was a media report that the Socialist Party Mobilization Secretary, Kelvin Kaunda, had endorsed Brian Mundubile, who's one of presidential candidates in the Patriotic Front. Now that was strange, cross-pollination. And then we heard that was having a press conference. So there was a lot of curiosity, and we will tackle that matter because the leader and party president of the Socialist Party is here, and he'll give us insights into those matters. Then there are matters worrying in the region. Remember, we've had recent elections where incumbents have lost elections in Botswana, in Malawi, and then there are upheavals like the recent elections in Tanzania, the load shedding crisis in Madagascar that caused a coup d'etat. And just in the last 4-5 years, Africa thought we had left behind the coup d'etats, but now there've been a flurry of them from Mali, from Chad, Guinea, Sudan, Burkina Faso, where the president here went just last week, Gabon, and Niger. What is happening in Africa? And Dr. Fred M'membe will give us insights into what is happening in Africa. So before I invite him, let me just play the signature tune for the party. I hope I can find it. Let me just look for it.
Kwenyu ndemwe chabe mabanja onanjala mkomo ndalama zonse mutumbalano masukwa kuchuluka pa mutupatu. Time is up, time is up. Kwenyu not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. Time is up, time is up. Kwenyu not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. Kani zanu ndizo panda pindu anakulira miseu mwatu kikufuna chilengede cha topano osati mapoke tanu opindika ndalama. Listen to the cry.
Mr. President, I can't find your signature tune, but along the way, I will find it. Sir, how are you, and welcome to today's broadcast?
I'm fine. Thank you very much for hosting me under these circumstances.
How was your trip to, to Burkina Faso, the revolutionary country of Burkina Faso?
A lot of things, good things are happening in Burkina Faso and the Sahel in general. The Sahel today, including Burkina Faso, have become the vanguard in Africa for the defense of sovereignty, for the promotion of sovereignty, for the defense of patriotism and the promotion of patriotism. There are a lot of good things happening under very difficult conditions. The Sahel is under attack from jihadists, both Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. France, cooperating with others, they have unleashed the jihadists who were in Syria. Now, because they are getting on with Syria, they have unleashed them on the Sahel to destabilize the struggle that is going on there, the revolutionary processes that are going on there. So they have to defend themselves militarily from the jihadists. They have to tackle the issues of poverty, poor infrastructure, and so on. So it's not easy, but a lot of good things are happening. They are definitely on the right path.
The youth leader in Burkina Faso has brought inspiration across Africa. And, he has dominated social media. Here, I met some young Africans, and they were asking me if we are neighbors with Burkina Faso, if Zambia were neighbors with Burkina Faso. So you can imagine that on the landscape of African leaders, the comrade in Burkina Faso is causing these ripple effects. What do you think is the reason?
Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire to some extent, let me say the French colonies have endured centuries of humiliation. They have endured centuries of excessive exploitation by France. Even if they got independence in the 60s, they were still very, very much French possessions. Their currencies are still controlled by France. Their reserves have to go to France. They cannot levy taxes without France. French companies have to have the first priority in any contract that is issued in those countries. In short, they had no sovereignty whatsoever. What is happening now is to reassert themselves, to regain their sovereignty, their patriotism. Because a nation that is not sovereign, that is not independent, truly independent, cannot tackle its social, economic, and political problems. To develop, you have to have a certain level of freedom, of independence, of sovereignty, of autonomy, not only within your territory, but also over your resources. These former French colonies, on these neo-colonial possessions of France, had nothing of that. The neoliberal policies that were imposed on these countries have wreaked havoc. And we are seeing it also in other parts of Africa. We are changing regimes so often. Yes, it appears to be democratic, but there are underlying reasons for that. There are fundamental reasons for that. The system is not working. When you have a system where if immediately after elections, people have to go on the streets rioting, you have to use your police, your army to control your population, to implement your policies, even your economic policies. You need the army, you need the police. Then you know you are in trouble. And this is what we are facing today in most African countries. And it was much deeper in the French colonies or former French colonies.
Let's come home and dispense with some issues, especially the matter that has urgently brought us. There was alarm this morning when one of your youth leaders held a press conference. Let me just play the press conference. Then we delve into the details.
Congress or this meeting to interact with our various structures from far and wide. We want to listen to you so that ultimately our decisions moving forward as a party will be premised on your voice and nothing less but your voice. After I've delivered my short speech, we will request our colleagues from the media to leave us in peace as we continue to interact and speak to each other on a one-by-one basis. With that said, fellow revolutionaries, fellow leaders in the struggle, permit me now to speak to you through the written speech. Fellow citizens, as the nation prepares the 13th August 2026 general elections, I wish to take this opportunity to urge all eligible Zambians to register as a voter. We are saying all, not some, but all. I want to take this opportunity to urge to all Zambians to take up their civic responsibility and be able to register as voters. Voting is not only a fundamental right, but also a patriotic responsibility. It is through the power of the ballot that citizens shape the leadership and destiny of our nation. Every Zambian is backed one action. And that action begins with registering as a voter. As the Socialist Party, we are determined to take this message to every corner of the country. As the Socialist Party, we are determined to take this message to every corner of our country. We believe that Zambia deserves a leadership rooted in equity, social justice, and people-centered development. I repeat, we believe that Zambia deserves a leadership rooted in equity, social justice, and people-centered development. To achieve this, every supporter, sympathizer, and progressive citizen must participate in the upcoming election. In order for us to be able to achieve this, it is necessary that we all participate.
Mr. President, that seems to be an innocent message on voter awareness and voter mobilization, but it has created a storm today. Even me who's in the US, I was woken up that there's a story that, Comrade Kaunda Kelvin had taken over the Socialist Party and he was calling for new leadership. I should disclose that I've since spoken to him to verify. I wanted to hear a statement from him. You had laid him suspended, and I wanted to understand. He says there is another statement that was issued simultaneously with his statement. But let's hear from you, sir. You are here. What happened today?
Batata bakapwepwe used to like saying, ntampa okusumwa kunshimu bane nshimuishi bati uchi buli mupepi. There's a lot that is happening now in our politics. A lot. The UPND is panicking. Although it's saying there's no opposition, the opposition political parties are weak. They can't defeat them. The amount of attention that is being paid by the UPND to SP and to PF in particular is still very high. If we are so weak, why should the UPND be worried about us? We have people in the UPND, we have friends, who are telling us that they are not sleeping over SP. They are not sleeping over me. And they are trying to find ways to cripple us, to weaken us, or even to eliminate us from the political race. If we are nothing, why worry? There are so much of infiltrations of our political parties, of our members. Money is being used to buy weak souls, to create some Judases here and there. Yes, we understand in the Socialist Party that there's no revolution without counter-revolution. You can't have revolutionaries without reactionaries or counter-revolutionaries. They will always be there. Betrayal will always be there. Disloyalty will always be there. But the situation is increasingly becoming one that is treacherous. I was in Matero this morning at St. Mary's, where we had a Catholic fundraising. I had no access to the phones. I didn't know what was going on. When we finished our activity around midday or thereafter, I got to the car and phones were ringing endlessly. And the story you have told was being told to me. I immediately called my brother, my young brother, Kelvin. I asked him what is going on. The line was very poor. We couldn't communicate. Thereafter, his phone went dead. I couldn't reach him. I got home, people were still coming, phones were ringing. The media was full of all sorts of stories. You started to wonder, what is the truth? What is the position? And it was difficult for me to understand because yesterday I was with Kelvin. We discussed many other issues, and he briefed me about this press briefing. I recommended that other people, other comrades go there, and they went. So I couldn't understand what was going on. But propaganda kept on coming, kept on coming, kept on coming, ceaselessly. The UPND media and the associated media was in full gear. I tried to reach to Kelvin, I couldn't get hold of him. I tried to reach those who were near him, I couldn't get through. Eventually, around, I think it was maybe about after 15 hours or so, or nearby there, I got hold of him through somebody's phone. I told him to come and see me. In fact, I didn't start by that. I told him, let's meet, and I'm ready to come wherever you are. He said, no, you don't need to come to where I am. You are older than me. Our tradition requires that I follow. I said, no, I'm not concerned about that. I can come. He said he was going to come. He hasn't come up to now. Then I started seeing some retractions or some corrections or some other denials of what was published. I saw something that was sent to me from news diggers who were the early publishers of the story we are talking about. It even became more confusing. The storm was getting bigger and bigger. The dust was rising higher and higher. We made consultations within the Politburo and decided to reduce the dust, to drop Comrade Kelvin from the Politburo in accordance with our constitution, so that we can deal with this issue in a better way and reduce the storm.
Mr. President, to the maybe people that may not know political terms, the Politburo, is it like the National Executive Committee or like the Central Committee? What is a Politburo?
The Politburo of the Socialist Party is the second highest organ of the party after the party Congress, and it comprises of 6 people elected by Congress. They were elected last September at the last Congress. This is the highest organ in between Congress. It's above the Central Committee, and it is the organ that constructs the Central Committee on behalf of Congress, mandated by Congress to do so. And Comrade Kelvin was part of the Politburo. He was secretary for mobilization under the Politburo.
Thank you. You can proceed.
Yeah, we decided to drop him from the Politburo and let the dust settle. It was a confusing situation. But this did not start today. The issues that were being brought up today did not start today, some 2-3 weeks ago. When Comrade Kelvin issued a recording about leadership and so forth, offering himself for leadership and so on, that video raised also similar propaganda that he's taking over the leadership of the party and so on. I had to defend him, even internally.
That
within the
is true,
party.
Mr. President, because when I saw the pictures of Comrade Kelvin in what would appear presidential portraits, the pictures were sent to me and the video was sent to me, and that he was offering himself for service, similar to the words that senior lawyer and State Counsel John Sango had used, that is available for service. Kelvin used similar words, and he had asked that he comes to EMV. So I was a bit unsettled. I said, is there competition in the Socialist Party? Haven't they just come to from conference? And I remember getting in touch with you, and I said, one of your members who wishes to come to my program, I have no problem, but what is this? You were in Burkina Faso, and you just laughed about it.
Yes, Ambassador, I laughed about it because it's laughable. There was so much propaganda around that video. Internally and externally, questions were arising. I was being asked, what is this? I had to write a small note to the Central Committee WhatsApp group explaining to them that they shouldn't worry, there's nothing. It's part of the politics we are doing. External friends of the party were also raising questions. Propaganda was arising, was being generated by the enemy around that. Another statement was issued later on, but also just deepening the situation. We did nothing about it. Comrade Kelvin did not correct that. It was allowed to play itself. Yesterday, when I met with Comrade Kelvin, he explained all that and other programs that were connected or related to it. After some discussions, I told him to abandon some of the programs connected to that because they are time-consuming and they will not yield the results we require. They will take so much of his limited time and resources and concentrate on a program that he himself had put forward, which I can talk about here. And we agreed. I did also at that meeting tell Comrade KK that if there are any grievances that he may have with the party or with myself, he should feel free to come and table them with me. None of us is free from mistakes or from error. I told him if I've wronged him, I will apologize and make remedies. I told him that should he ever feel he wants to leave the party, it will be very painful for me, but I will not stand in his way. And I reminded him that, we have had a very good relationship of elder brother and younger brother. We have been loyal to each other. He has been loyal to me. I've been loyal to him. I've been respecting of him. He has been respecting of me. And that will not create any animosity. He said he was thankful for that, but there was none of that. We were supposed to meet in the evening or get in touch with in the evening of yesterday for him to give me a feedback on something that he was doing. And this morning, early in the morning, I got in touch with him. Everything was okay. So to hear that, I was confused. I didn't know what to make of what was happening. So,
Comrade President, you are well known in our country as an astute politician. Beyond trust and comradeship, there was something that appeared to be happening in this case. I don't know how it will play out in the end. But when one of your members, while there is leadership, offers himself for leadership, that was an open challenge to your leadership. And yesterday, maybe that's what fueled today's speculations, is that Comrade Kaunda launched a very expansive voter awareness program with a very expensive, I think, 72-seater bus. If you look at the visuals, it looked like it's very serious. And this particular press conference, many journalists will attest that they received an advance copy, similar to what we do all the time when there's a major event. We receive embargoed statement. And it looked like there was this embargoed statement. Of course, now we know that there are denials, and I have personally spoken to Kelvin. He says it's just propaganda. He just meant voter awareness. But wouldn't this raise an issue to you of issues of discipline, an attack on collectively as a team and as a party leadership? You didn't have any of those inklings?
A party is an apparatus. And it's an apparatus that requires a lot of discipline. It is an apparatus that requires orderliness for you to have efficiency and effectiveness in the party. It's not easy to belong to a party. That's why people who are anarchists don't belong to the party. They would rather go as independents and so on. Party discipline is cardinal. But outside the party life, for me, leadership really is not something that you take on your own or acquire on your own. You remember, Ambassador, at the last time we appeared on this podcast, Dr. M'membe explained to you that it had taken 18 months to convince me to lead this party, despite being one of his founders. I did not join this party to become a president or to become a leader of any sort. I joined as a member. And I can still carry out my duties as a member. I'm a leader in this party not because of my choice. I never offered myself, even at the last Congress, I didn't say, make me president. It is the decision of our members to make me the president of the party. And also, they still have that right. If tomorrow they wake up and feel I'm not the most suitable leader at the moment, given the struggles the party has to wage, I will not resist any such attempt to remove me from the leadership. I will not be a leader of this party for a second longer than the membership of the party wants me. I will not stand in their way at all. If tomorrow they want to remove me, I have no issues. I will not even leave the party. What may trouble me a lot is for them to expel me from the party. But if they leave me from the leadership of the party, I still have a lot of things to do. I can teach at the party schools. We have a party school in Bela Bela in South Africa. I'll teach there. We have a school in Accra, in Ghana, the Amilcar Cabral School. I'll teach there. We have a school in Tunisia. I'll teach there. We are cooperating with the Nepalese. They have a school there. I'll teach there. We have a school that we cooperate with in Sao Paulo in Brazil. I'll teach there. And I'll be much happier doing that. Being a leader is a huge responsibility. The sacrifices that are required financially, socially, politically are huge. So I will not be bothered. I will not lose sleep at all if my comrades wake up today or tomorrow and say, we want another one to replace you. But when we embark on a process that makes our people to start doubting the party and this leadership, that process is destructive. No matter how well-intentioned our schemes are, we should preserve the dignity and the cohesion of the party. Because if there's no cohesion in the party, the enemies of the party jump in. You are opening a fissure for them to enter and destroy the party. It's not about me. I've had an existence outside SP. I was there longer than SP. I've been struggling for many years. I joined the South African Communist Party in 1978 as a teenager. In the same year, I joined the African National Congress and other organizations I cannot talk about here, affiliated to these organizations. I've grown up in those organizations. I had no leadership position. I had no ranks. I was a private. It never bothered me. I was not a South African by birth. I identified with that struggle. We completed it. And in some way successfully so. And withdrew to the countries of our birth. We never looked for positions. We were offered opportunities, yes. But that was not what we struggled for. That struggle ended, but I still exist politically today. The struggle that I saw from my late teens, my 20s, and part of my 30s ended. I still existed. We got into the media with the Post, 27 years of doing that work. The Post was closed. But our struggles did not end with the closure of the Post. We are still struggling today. Here I am. They can take away SP today, and they are bent on destroying SP. My struggle will not stop. They will still have to face me. They will still have to meet me in the trench somewhere. It will not end. The only time that will end is when my Creator says, my son, come, time has come. That will be the only time I will cease to struggle in this form and in this way. They can take the crow, but as long as we have the animals, it's okay for us. The party apparatus is a crow. They have taken it away from PF. They have taken the crow from PF. PF has still remained with human beings. And that's what still makes PF exist. And that's why they're still fighting PF. They have infiltrated that party. They have humiliated these leaders. They have locked up the key leaders of the party. They have never stopped fighting the party. Even after they have gotten the party, they have gotten the crowd called PF, they are still jailing PF leaders. They are still fighting PF leaders. So they can take the crowd. we'll take the animals, or rather, we'll take the human beings. The parties they are scared of today, without undermining anybody else, is SP and PF. They are not sleeping. And their worry, their greatest worry is that if we exist like this, at some point we may merge our struggles, we may unify our struggles, and they are gone. And indeed it's true. A unity of PF and SP, they are gone. Nothing will save them, not even rigging. They are not sleeping. They have infiltrated PF. They have even now trying to decimate Tonse. You are watching what is happening simultaneously with what is happening elsewhere. So they are not sleeping. We need to be vigilant. And I can only urge the Zambian people to register en masse, register in big numbers to come and vote. No matter what they do, we will defeat them. No matter what they do, we will still defeat them. They can cause as much confusion as possible. Some of the confusion being caused in our ranks, we can take some blame on it or for it, because we are opening fissures for them to enter. We need to tighten our unity. We need to tighten our cohesion. And we shouldn't give them these opportunities. What happened today in SP is sad, but it will not lead to the closure, to the cessation of our struggle against them. Kelvin is my young brother. We will find a way to deal with the issues surrounding him, to deal with the struggle surrounding him. Has he made some mistakes? Yes, he has made some mistakes, which they are capitalizing on. He opened a fissure for them to come and try to humiliate us. For the last 2-3 weeks, I was a target of their propaganda, putting statements in Kelvin's mouth. You never heard me complain. You never heard me say this or that. The mistake is Kelvin did not deal with that timely. And they started to push their luck much further. Is this something we can remedy? Yes, we can remedy it. Kelvin has not been expelled from the party. Kelvin is still a member and a leader of our party in one form or another.
In fact, Mr.
Are
President,
we to take him back?
this brings me to a larger question with what has happened to the Patriotic Front, where their seats have been stolen under very strange circumstances, from Kwacha, Kabushi and Kwacha, to Kawambwa, Pambashe, Petauke, Lumezi. You can see that President Hakainde Hichilema is determined to silence the opposition. He's determined to go to elections next year without a credible candidate. Like you say, nearly every leader in our country is either facing jail or is already in jail, or charges are lined up against those that appear to be potential. And sadly, they don't seem to learn just from recent history. Let me take the example of the 2024 Senegalese presidential election. You and I have discussed it. Macky Sall tried to go for a third term. An active citizenry stopped him. So he got his vice president to run, but he banned the political party and jailed the two, the candidates, Sonko and his running mate, Basiro Diome Faye. And while in jail, the vice president appeared unassailable that would win that election. As citizens mounted the pressure, they were forced to release a two. Sonko was banned. The young vice president running mate was allowed to, who was unknown. But within 10 days, he won that election. If you look at what has just happened in Tanzania, where a mother of ours who presented hope as a female leader, all of a sudden just became this tyrant, looking up, all potential presidents' abductions, and the major political parties were banned from participating. But the country now lies at a perilous space because the people rose and literally the national peace and security is threatened. Why can't President Hakainde Hichilema learn from this recent history? If it's in the Sahel, it's very bad because you had leaders that won elections which resulted in coup. They won 94%, 84%, and the following day there was a coup. Aren't we on a perilous path?
It's not possible to deceive people in the way Mr. Hichilema and the UPND think they can. Trying to destroy people's organizations the way they are trying on PF, the way they are trying on SP, it won't work. They can target us with all sorts of propaganda. They can target us through weak source. Today, even in the attempts, of united front or coalitions or alliances, we are under attack. I'm one of their main targets. But they don't seem to learn. They don't seem to learn. I can't say much on what is happening in Tanzania today. We have a friendly relationship with Chama cha Mapinduzi. But it's a sad happening. And we need to learn some lessons from it, especially Mr. Hichilema and his friends in UPND. Learn and learn and learn and learn. But whatever they do, we are coming for them. And they are not winning next year's election. Even if it's 10 days remaining or given to us to mobilize, we'll mobilize and defeat them. Okuyabaleya. Nothing will save them. These desperate measures do not work. And they can see in our sister countries in Africa what is happening with desperate measures. It won't work. They can send you ambassador and others in exile. They thought by putting you under torture, putting you under repression and making you flee, then you are finished. You are hitting them much harder now than you are hitting them here. The struggle has continued. It's a luta continua. Victoria Aseta. So nothing will save them. The best thing they can do is to retreat in best order and the wishes of the people or the will of the people. Repression has never served as a permanent deterrence anywhere for people wanting to save their country, for people wanting to take back their country. Our country has been taken away from us. The Zambian people, what they are fighting for is to win back their country, to win back their sovereignty, and become a country, a nation again. We can't continue on this path where everything has been sold to foreigners, including government itself. We have never had a thing like this. And unpatriotic people survive by repression. That's how the colonial government operated. They are simply following the way their masters ruled this territory. Zambia belongs to our people. Zambia belongs to us, and we will take it back, with or without their will. This struggle cannot be stopped.
Mr. President, I will now invite callers to ask any questions that you may have to Comrade Fred M'membe. He was recently in Burkina Faso, and today he was out venturing for community service in Matero. And there is this big news that his own mobilization secretary had taken over the party. Mr. Kaunda since refused. He has put it on record that he didn't. He has challenged all of us to listen to that video. He says there's nowhere where the statement that was circulated and what he said is what is happening. But there have been telltale signs, probably the Socialist Party who deal with internally, which probably could have been exploited by outsiders and unexcited media. So it's time to call. You can call and contribute to Comrade Fred M'membe. If you have any question, you can ask him. We will not keep him very much long. I think he has helped settle the matter for us, and we'll continue to have the debate on the future of our country.
As Zambians, we need change, freedom of expression, and equal opportunity for every citizen.
Thank you very much. Caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you, Ambassador M'membe. My name is Nyangwetani. I just want to say good evening to our comrade, Dr. M'membe. My question to you, Dr. M'membe, is you have calculated issues concerning the problems that has been happening within your party. And I just like the way you've said it, to say, you are ready to leave the party, but remain in the party if everything that is done normally. But my question is this. We are going towards the election, and we know that the Imingalato propaganda is behind what is happening. And for me, I'm asking all Zambians that we should learn that there is one leader that wants to divide Zambians, and so that it can only be the party, like bring us back to the one-party state. My question to you, Dr. M'membe, don't you think this is the time that we need you leaders to unite with one voice? Because what is happening, the enemy is going to take the advantage of trying to find porous leaders and bring confusion in these big parties. But my question is, don't you think as opposition leaders, don't you need to sit down and then choose one person that can counterattack the enemy, whatever they're trying to bring and confuse Zambians?
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador M'membe. Good evening, Comrade Fred M'membe. This is Zephania. I'm calling from Lusaka, Zambia. I want just to urge Comrade M'membe that Zambia under UPND, we are under siege. And I urge you, politicians, PF and SP, come together. You are the only solution. You are the only solution who can remove UPND in power. And what I'm going to say is that Comrade Kaunda, I watched what he said. That's why when I started seeing propaganda through Causeway, I was also confused. I couldn't even write an article. I wanted to write an article, but when I tried to do my research, I realized that there was nothing what he said about him like taking over the presidency. He was just encouraging the youth. But the truth of the matter, you must follow the protocol and you must get the blessings from the party. And this is what people are laughing like us Zambians that our political parties, we are now trying to look like everyone wants to become a president. So the truth of the matter is that sit him down. If there is anything, I know you have said that you have no grudge against him, but he's denting the image and his association with some UPND, that brings a lot of people to start speculating, because when Causeway started backing you, just know that you are the target. Equally, even Comrade, let me take this opportunity also to advise Honorable Munduvire when he was endorsed by Kelvin Kaunda. For me, I said this is not right. He's supposed to work together with the Comrade M'membe and other political parties, not a youth chairman to go and endorse another fellow aspirant candidate. That it shows indiscipline. And
Thank you, Zephania. Thank you, Zephania. There are so many calls. Let's just take a few. Yeah. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
This is Friday. Good evening to you, Ambassador M'membe and Comrade Fred M'membe.
Yeah, thank you. Please speak louder.
My question goes to Dr. Fred M'membe. Sir, where is the intelligent master political planner we've always known? For us to be subjected to this mediocre type of leadership, and we seem to be going on and it's fine with us all. The second question is, are you aware that your friend is not interested in having democratic elections? And if we are not aware, you are just doing business as usual. Your friend has shown you that he's not interested in any democratic elections to be held next year.
Which friend? Which friend? Which friend?
The one who's in charge right now.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Comrade M'membe.
Good evening.
Good evening, Comrade.
We can hear you. Please make your contributions.
My name is Gerald Batts. I would just love to appeal to Comrade. I've taken advantage to come online and join the masses. Comrade, you are one of the leaders that is able to unite the country, looking at your tribal lines. You are a person who comes from 4 regional groups and very mature in the way you do things, because I've worked with you closely. I'm urging you, Comrade, to put aside in terms of issues like that happened in the past in terms of the PF and everything. Would love you, Comrade, to unite the opposition and move forward. Trust me, you are the only person who is formidable in terms of ruling this country and uniting this country. The country is very divided. And one other thing, Comrade, is that we need to push more and pull up our socks, because the enemy is not resting. The capitalists are not resting. So as a socialist, we also have to pull our socks and find a solution on how we can unite all these political parties under one umbrella.
Thank you, Gerald. Thank you very much, Gerald. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
I will remain anonymous. Good evening, Ambassador.
Anonymous, good evening.
President M'membe.
Thank you.
The call clearly remains there is need for the opposition to unite. All oppositions, regardless of our differences in ideology and beliefs, we are confronted with a bigger threat that threatens our heritage as a nation. One Zambia, one nation, one people. We therefore call on you all, for the sake of this nation. We have only months remain to protect our nation. May you, the opposition leaders, come together. It is time, and it is time. President M'membe, the PF, and everybody else, Zambia is looking to you. Please help us. I submit.
Thank you very much, caller. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Calling from Lusaka, Zambia.
Mr. Zulu, make your contributions.
Okay, thank you. Dr. M'membe, I have a straightforward question for you, sir. We had read some complaints concerning Comrade Kaunda, Kelvin Kaunda, some time back. I think there was a recording that was released to the media, and we didn't take it lightly. Then there was even another issue where he issued a statement pointing to the fact that Chabinga is the only legitimate leader of PF. Personally, I wrote to you on your page, and we didn't see action being taken on Comrade Kaunda. So why have you suddenly taken this supersonic speed to act on Comrade Kelvin Kaunda now that it affects you directly? Why did you take the same action then when he uttered those words?
Thank you very much, caller.
Okay.
Thank you, caller. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Mr. M'membe.
Good evening.
Mine is just a 1 minute call.
Thank you.
I've got this thing on my mind. The first thing that I want to say to Mr. Fred M'membe, my president, I would only ask you one thing. Go on ground, campaign powerfully. HH is going. HH is not a factor, no matter the Mingarato is doing. The example is set in Tanzania. And let Chabinga, Neri Muti stop issuing those statements. Those statements are very malicious. Chabinga has got no power to start telling the military to say, no, this and that. Neri Muti has got nobody to start owning people to say Zambia is not this, Zambia is not that. Please, in which capacity are these people making these pronouncements? Kavindere also is making malicious statements. Is our country in order for anybody just to wake up as long as this person is found with other Inde? Mr. President, take charge of this country. We want to see our president standing firm. Not anybody, any Fimbo Poke comes on and starts threatening Zambians. This is not a Zambia we should be living in. Please, you go on the ground. Protect the people. Go to Shangombo. Go to Riteta. Go to Mwandi. Campaign there. Move out from Lusaka. Leave Lusaka for HH. And you see what is going to happen on 12th August.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Mkwai.
tuli momwe kushechishuphirepo ukuikatishanya chapamo as opposition party chinshi kozi ngamwalolesha va UPND ivi fintu etho vakwata batampire okupulana kale and they are still planning ero nshiteyo tukwete ino so nshitaileya tatuishive abale tungulule chalo ku opposition then aba bantu balelete chilunganye nshitane nshita ushe ichishupiro fe ichikalambo okwikatishanya pamonga ma opposition chinshi ushe kuitemwa ushe tatukwete ntungulushi ushe ni trust bamwamba. I think this one is not just directed to Mr. M'membe but to every leader of opposition.
please help us. Otherwise, UPND, they don't mean well to this country, and they are taking us backwards. Please, please.
Thank you very much. Let me just take two last calls and allow the president to respond. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
All right. Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
All right. This is Food Soldier.
Food Soldier, make your contribution.
Okay. Thank you very much. Fred M'membe, thank you very much for appearing on the podcast for Emmanuel M'membe. You people are the very people that we need to come to our rescue in this country. And whatever has happened in your party, I mean, deal with it internally and allow idiots not to destabilize. What I can appeal to you, please form alliance with the Patriotic Front or any other party so that we redeem this country. We are on our knees. Come to the rescue of this country. Then I've got one question to Fred M'membe. The schools that he was mentioning, why is it just only abroad? Why not here in Zambia? So that at least you can teach your own people on how to run this country, on how Socialist Party is going to come to the rescue of this country under this evil dictatorship.
Thank you very much. Let me take the last call on this batch. We allow Comrade Fred M'membe to answer. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you, Ambassador M'membe. How are you?
Very well, thank you, my brother. Make your contributions.
Sure, thank you so much. I think I will remain anonymous for security purpose.
Thank you.
Vamwamba nezofuna kugamba kwa chintu chimozi. Mukarangana maningi ava va UPND. Va UPND so vanabwere kuti vawamye vintu muzambia, vanabwera kuononga. Zvija vamene zvinachitika mu PF, vamene vanapwanya party. That does not mean kuti va SP nangu any other political party are free. What I can encourage M'membe, the political party should remain very much alert. Because the government yameneli pofuna kuononga mapati. Wanaononga PF. Na SP wazaononga bantu bakonda ndalama. Because alwasange na party muja. Afuno tenga ndalama. Ashita betray party. Na pamene apasoso SP wa ashita betray. Venango wanapanga ma political parties yamene yatunga kuti tisebenzese amene vazachoserapo ba UPND. But ba UPND vaziva kuti 2026 sivaza wina. Chasala kononga mapati. Manje chamene chifunika monga matina kambira kuja kumbuyo. Kuti imwe amene muli na ma political parties nkharani pamozi selfishness ichokepo. Because muntu pamene afuna kugulisa party, nishali selfish. So when we remove the selfish, we bring people, individuals that can bring proper leadership. Sivinga chitike vamwamba. But vamene vachitika vakati ndrama vantu sankhara pasogoro. Ba UPND vasensa ndarama. Vagula muntu mene ufuna kugulira amene uyo atikunda. So sembaononga party. So what I can encourage M'membe that vantu munkhale very alert as a political parties. No konda mazambians. Not kuzikonda chabe mtu watenga ndarama wazikonda. Ononga vipi. This is what even I will not mention his name, Manonga party, but he came back and realized when it was too late. So the problem is that very selfish. They don't have heart for Zambians, more especially in opposition. You need to have heart for Zambians, not just to be very selfish. It is not helping at all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Comrade Fred M'membe, there have been a flurry of questions. I will allow you to answer. For callers, let's pause. Let's allow the president to answer some of these questions and thoughts and your contributions.
Let me start with the last question. Why did you set the schools outside Zambia? Actually, our first intention was to set this first school here in Serenge. That was in 2018. But if you remember, we had challenges even when our friends in PF were in power. The launch of our party in 2018, we invited other Africans to just come and attend the launch. They were returned at the airport, most of them from Ghana, from Nigeria, and other countries. The Cuban ambassador, who passed through our launch for 5 minutes and greeted us, was sent away from the country. The schools we have set, the one which is in South Africa in Bela Bela, the Nkrumah School, is a Pan-African school. The one which is in Accra, the Amilcar Cabral School, is a Pan-African school. We are Pan-Africanists. Our training is not only for our party members, for Zambians, it's for all Africans on the continent and in the diaspora. So it was eventually decided that we take the school to South Africa, which has a bit more liberal laws and a bit more accommodative. We have never had any of our students in Bela Bela, in Limpopo, turned away or denied entry to South Africa. So that's why we set up that school there. For similar reasons, we set up the Nkrumah School, the Amilcar Cabral School in Ghana, and others. But we did not stop there. We are working on a school here in Zambia that is almost just functioning, semi-functioning, called the Chris Hani School in Kasupe. We have a school that we have localized. It's moving slowly in terms of construction and so forth, but it's functioning partially. There's the issue of unity. Everyone has spoken about unity of the opposition. Fellow compatriots, I agree with you. Without unity, we'll have challenges. It's either we struggle together or we are defeated alone. The issue of us uniting regardless of differences in ideology is also important. At no time have we ever placed ideology above our people. We socialists do not place ideology over people, over human beings. Ideology is there to save human beings. It's a guide. A guide cannot be placed above people. So there's no ideology that can stop us from uniting to achieve the minimum program that is required by our people. The requirement to bring back our sovereignty and defend it. The need for patriotism is not contested ideologically. We all need it. All Zambians of goodwill support that struggle. Because without sovereignty, without patriotism, we will not be able to achieve the many challenges, the many problems facing our people today. The policies that we are pursuing today, where foreigners own everything, dominate everything, it won't work. Where our entire banking system is owned by foreigners, we only control 2% or so of our banking system. We only control 5% of our financial system. It can't work. Meaningful mining is in the foreign hands. Every industry that matters really is in foreign hands. Our leaders today, they are nothing but agents of foreign corporations. Their main purpose is to serve the interests of foreign transnational corporations. and not the people. The people's interests, the people's problems are secondary. Unity is important for us, and we are working on it. The unity between PF and SP that you are talking about, I agree with you, is strategic. Once there's unity between PF and SP, everything will fall in place. And I'm not talking about unity of PF and SP at the exclusion of all other players. We need everybody on board. But unity is not an easy thing to achieve. It's not something you pick off the shelves in a supermarket. The unity has to be struggled for. And that struggle starts first with building trust. When you build trust, it's easier to work together to overcome even differences that can totally set you apart. We are working on that. One of the assignments Comrade Kelvin Kaunda had yesterday brought it to me is about unity. He was working on that project, and I hope and believe that you continue to work on that project of uniting the opposition and the opposition that matter. I'm meeting him tomorrow, and we'll discuss that program again. It's needed by our people. It's something more important than me and him. Whatever hurts, whatever grievances may be there, they have to be subordinated to this supreme interest of our people. The will of the people is our command. We can't escape the call for unity. And the SP has been working vigorously on the opposition unity since Congress last year in September. We have the mandate of our Congress of last year to unite with others, to remove this evil regime, this cruel regime that is today humiliating our people in a way they have never been humiliated before. 5 years of UPND humiliation is enough. 5 years of UPND lies is more than enough. 5 years of UPND tribalism, divisive tribalism, is more than enough. 5 years of UPND repression and selective justice, prosecutions, is more than enough. It's only us uniting that will be able to free our people, our relatives, our friends, our brothers who are in jail today. Why should Nakachinda go and serve a jail sentence on such a charge, on such a conviction? The things Nakachinda said, Hakainde Hichilema said them in a similar way or even in a worse way in 2016. But nobody arrested him. Nobody sent him to prison. Let's unite to set the captives free, to set the prisoners free, and liberate our country from this repressive regime. We need Ambassador M'membe to come back, but he can't come back if we don't remove these characters. We have our brother Tayari, he can't come back. And many others. If we continue at this rate, more will still run away from this country. And
Thank you, President.
So.
Dear callers, we are hosting Socialist Party President Dr. Fred M'membe. Let me take the next 5 questions, then we will allow Honorable Fred M'membe to give his closing remarks, and then we can wrap up the program. Callers, you can now come in and make your contributions for Dr. Fred M'membe.
registration across the country from the 13th of October to the 11th of November 2025. If you are 18 years and above, a Zambian citizen and in possession of a Green National Registration Card, NRC, you qualify to register. If you registered in 2020 or during continuous registration of voters and you still have your voter's card, you don't need to register again. During this registration period, ECZ will be providing the following services: new registrations, replacement of lost, destroyed or defaced voters' cards, transfers from one polling station to another, claims for omission on the register of voters, corrections of clerical errors and removal of deceased voters. Registration centers will be open throughout the week from 8 hours to 17 hours. Register now. It's your right. It's your choice. This message is brought to you by the Electoral Commission of Zambia.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, good afternoon. Is it good evening, Ambassador, and good evening, Mr. M'membe. My name is Anonymous from the AI Kingdom, and I just want to make a contribution towards the topic that is being discussed today. I just have few questions, maybe one or two. Mr. M'membe, I've known you. You may not have known me, but I know you. And knowing you who you are a person who is very, very good at planning. And I think one person spoke about it to say, where is that skill in Fred M'membe to help others to come together and come up with a solution to unite? Where is that skill of Fred M'membe to help others and come together? We are all singing that come together. We've seen the skills of Muhabi Lungu. We've seen the skills of Fred M'membe. We've seen the skills of, who can I talk about? The Nakachinda of today. Where are your skills? Why don't you want you people to come together and unite? Please, the Zambians are asking for you leaders to come and unite and save the Zambians. We want you. Please, let's save also Nakachinda. Nakachinda is suffering for something he never even is supposed to be suffering from. That's my contribution, Ambassador.
Thank you very much, my sister. I've got two more callers lined up. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you very much, Am I clear, Ambassador Emmanuel?
Yes, you are clear, my brother. Make your contributions.
Oh, thank you very much, and good evening, Comrade Fred M'membe. Firstly, allow me to thank the leadership of Fred M'membe for his steadfast and mature leadership of the Socialist Party. My position has always been that the only way out here, Comrade Fred M'membe, is for the opposition to come together. You have heard what people say. Zambia is back in default mode. It is either you fight together or you perish individually. I like the groundwork that you have given here. You have spoken so nicely and so convincingly. This is the call that I've been making for quite a long time. It was very clear for some of us who know President Hakainde Hichilema, who have worked with him, that you see, what is there is that the opposition absolutely have no any choice but to come together. You opposition leaders, put your egos aside. You can't all be presidents at one time. Please put all your egos. Where we are now is that we are fighting for independence again. Zambia is back, Comrade Fred M'membe, in default mode. We have to fight for independence again. When we remove this government, that's when now we can sit down now back to our individual parties and compete nicely. But the task we have now is for all opposition political parties to come together, Ambassador Emmanuel, and choose one leader. You need a savior. What you need now as a opposition is a savior, a person who's going to save this situation. Allow me to end here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
For your clarity on this.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
afternoon, or is it good evening, Ambassador M'membe and Dr. Fred M'membe. My name is Robert, calling from Manchester. I've enjoyed the program, and I see the pain on the face and the voice of the president because of what's happening in our country. And the message is very clear. And the message he's saying is we need to fight for our second independence. I think what I've just realized today, M'membe, is I think we do criticize the opposition so much, but I think the president has made it so hard for them to come together because of what we've observed in some of these people that are weak and being used to bring destruction. And the doctor has said it very clear that what we need is a group of people that they can trust each other and deliver this country. That is the task they need to move into. And also, for all those opposition, and I did say it some time back, the biggest problem that our opposition parties did was not to help PF fight to win that fight. PF is gone now, it's SP, and who's going to be next? And that is a challenge. So for all these opposition parties that are these small parties, if they think they're very safe and they don't want to work with their friends to come together so that we move this country to the second independence that we've been crying for weeks, there will be no opposition. That's why now they keep on saying there won't be any opposition. And you see what's happening now, and we need to come together. And we are with you, Dr. M'membe, on this journey to liberate our country. And we will do it in a way that Zambians have never seen it. And we will do it peacefully with love and care. Let's work together and deliver Zambia as one country. Thank you so much for your passion and for everything that you're doing for our country, for the second independence. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Robam. Thank you, Robam. Robam says we are fighting for second independence. Yes, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, M'membe.
Good evening.
I choose to be anonymous.
Yes, anonymous.
You know, in this country, good evening, President M'membe. I want you, sir, to know that God loves you. You are a principled person, and your market perception is very high. Most of these apparatus and institutions, they perceive you as somebody who is a statesman. I want you to know that just be strong and courageous. Everything is going to be okay. Everyone is trying to say, yes, unite, yes, unite, yes, unite. That's a good, positive language. But the issue which is there is, these are our leaders. Let them be selfless. Instead of saying, let's unite, let's be selfless. Then the people will say, okay, among us, the 10 of you or 15 of you, of course, with endorsement of M'membe and a few statesmen we have, some people don't want to unite. I understand, they understand a few leaders who have gone their own way because certain parties, they seem to be more powerful than the others within the opposition. So let's all be selfless. Then if it means Your Excellency, some kind of a debate within yourselves, then for opposition they can run the show. Now, coming to my contribution, I want to encourage you. Number one, President M'membe, please take note of these things. Number one, leadership. Okay? You need to have a sense of unity and direction towards your established goals. Okay? Number two, crisis management. Mababa 8th president. Please look at crisis management. How are you going to respond to Sino Neto? What will be your response? Okay. 3, appointments. Please, let the appointment. Let's have meritocracy in this country. Merit based. We need meritocracy. Not in a president. No. 4, political skill. Okay? Let's respect the constitution. Okay? The separation of powers. The legislature, executive, and judiciary. Let's respect the constitution. Separation of government. Character and integrity. From within your own house, someone can behave like that. What Amala is number? There are a lot of people who are traitors. So please,
evaluate character and integrity within your circles, even the other allies. These things should be looked at. Okay, then lastly, the interpretation of, we need to understand domestic policy and foreign policy. If you want to say, so all we need is to be selfless. Let's take a pause. We can take a pause. Let's take a pause and see whom can we pick. Let's have it within yourselves. Let's have a debate amongst yourselves based on how questions that I want to ask, because we're not talking about the same thing. Instead of saying let's unite, let's be selfless, one say. Then the people of the opposition, lastly, if you are member, president, the 8th president. Please, Mr. President, can you make Zambia to have structures, okay, where all these 10 provinces, they've got governors. I want to talk about my president now. Let them take charge of Copper Belt. Governor Copper Belt, Lusaka governor. If you can take ownership of a province, okay, and the district, whatever you call them, let's see if people can run a province before you talk about state house. You being the state house president, let's see if you can put governors in these 10 provinces. Then you'll see. So it's all about structures. Okay, thank you, Mama.
Thank you very much. Mr. President, the calls are many. I think we just have to end the calls so that you can answer. Oh my, this one has been calling for some time. Maybe that will be the last caller. Hello, caller. Please make your contributions. Tell us your name and make your contributions.
Good evening. Good evening, Ambassador, and good evening, Doctor. I'll be brief. Yes. Well, I have just realized that everyone who has called has emphasized on unity. Indeed, Doctor, I do agree with you when you pointed out that unity isn't something that can be achieved easily, as it requires being together in thoughts and in actions, and above all, trust. We are aware, but my plea is the same plea that everyone has actually pointed out to you. You are our leaders. Yeah, we need you very much. You need to be united. This is it. I submit.
Thank you very much. Mr. President, there is an important question of the Constitution. On June 27, 2025, the Constitutional Court struck down this bill that it didn't have sufficient mechanisms of making a constitution. The requirement for both public awareness and consultative process were not met, and in fact it violated various provisions of the Constitution. This government is determined to proceed with this process. President Hakainde Hichilema, without any legal framework, has appointed a technical committee. They've divided themselves. They have 1 month to gather, collect, and produce a draft constitution by 26th November, in the next 26 days. What are your views about this process?
This is a personal process. This is a constitution for Mr. Hichilema. And he doesn't shy away from making that very clear. He says he's also entitled to have a constitution of his own. We have allowed others before him to have their constitutions. Why not him? For this is ready to defy anything, to manipulate everything, to get his own constitution. The amendments he's trying to make to the constitution are his, for his own. It's not for the interests of the people. And he has taken these constitutional amendments as a personal matter. He doesn't hide it. This is personal. His campaign for these amendments are personal. The appointments that is making, the arrangements that is making are personal. And is ready to lie, to deceive, to manipulate, to achieve that personal goal. It's a personal goal to amend the constitution. You cannot proceed with the constitution on that basis. That desire is not sufficient enough to sustain a meaningful constitutional amendment process. And is not ready to back down. When the Constitutional Court ruled him offside, he created a penalty for himself to kick in. When the penalty went over the bar, he still found another handball. The tricks will not end. The way he's going about it is the wrong way. Everybody is telling him, you stop him from this, the Constitutional Court stops him, he comes with another scheme that is stoppable, that is undesirable, that is unacceptable. The technical committee is utter rubbish, is utter deceit. And Zambians, let's have a sense of dignity. One cannot accept to be appointed to that committee under the current constitution and harbor a sense of love for his country and for his fellow citizens. It is sad that respected people can accept to put themselves, to put their names, to put their dignity, their integrity on that committee. There are so many groups of our people that are rejecting, that are refusing to submit to this process, to submit to the technical committee. Province by province, you are hearing. But he still wants to go ahead. Hakainde does not seem to be willing to listen to anybody other than his inner demons. That's not the way to lead. That's not a recipe for unity in the country. That's not a recipe for governing well. It's a recipe for anarchy. It's a recipe for disaster. And he's headed for disaster. The ending of Ichilema will not be good. If a leader refuses to listen to the people he leads, who is he leading? Who is he representing? Mr. Hichilema is not representing the interests of the people. He is representing his own interests. He's governing for himself, for his own sake, and unfortunately against the people of this country. I come back again to the issue of unity. We have heard you loud and clear. Unity, unity. Each one of you calling in, you are talking about unity. Pray for us to have more wisdom, to come up with better blueprints for how to achieve this unity. You are calling for unity, but you have not given us a blueprint on how to achieve this unity. And it's understandable. It's our duty as leaders to put up that blueprint and give you the unity, the opposition unity that you deserve, the unity that you desire, the unity that is necessary for us to remove this evil regime. Do we have sufficient wisdom? Wisdom is never sufficient. Please pray for us. Remember us in your prayers. Ask the Lord to increase our wisdom. Ask the Lord to increase our compassion, our honesty, our humility, and our integrity. We need to build trust for each other. No matter what mechanisms we come up with, if we don't have that enough trust, we will not be able to create sufficient hope that is needed to see us tomorrow. Again, every night has its morning. It gets dark sometimes, but the morning comes. Let's not lose hope. Without hope, we will not be able to overcome the challenges that we face today. And with that hope, we'll become bigger than we are. And with the unity, we'll become bigger than we are individually. And we'll be able to rise over the challenges we face today. There's nothing impossible. We can unite if we want. We can unite if we respect you. And there's no need to be in politics, in opposition politics, if you're not ready to listen to the people. We are all claiming we are acting in your interest. Your interest now is opposition unit. That's what you want. If we can't achieve that, who are we representing? Ourselves? There's need for us to set a national agenda. Individual, personal, or group or political party agendas are not sufficient to unite us. What can unite us much easier is a national agenda. What is our national agenda? Again, we need to come to the issue of sovereignty. We need to tackle the issue of patriotism. We can't continue to have our people wallow in such extreme poverty levels. I've said it before. One of the provinces I come from is enduring poverty levels of 82.6%. The national average poverty is 60%. This can't continue. This should make a leader have difficulties to sleep. And this should help us set the national agenda. The unity you are asking us to achieve is not an end in itself. It's a tool to use to achieve our national goals of eliminating the humiliation of poverty, the indignation of hunger, disease, and ignorance.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I'll invite you to make your last remarks, and I'd like to thank you so much for coming at such a short notice to deal particularly with an internal matter that played out itself to the nation and gripped the nation with concern. Kindly offer your last remarks as we close the program.
The issue is not about me. The issue is not about a Fred M'membe. The issue is about SP. It's about the party. I'm not above our party. Yes, I have an independent existence, but right now I'm part of an apparatus called SP. Every decision that we take, every decision that I participate in is and must be in the interest of our party. And our party's interests are national interests. We put our nation above our party. We put our people above our ideology. There are contradictions in every organization. There are challenges in every organization. We have our challenges, others have their own. Even our churches have got problems. Our traditional leadership structures have got problems. But those problems, those challenges, those differences should not decimate them. The challenge we have today is something that we'll deal with, and in a more just and fair manner. If we have made mistakes, we'll correct our mistakes. We'll admit our mistakes and correct them. The issue of my brother, my dear comrade Kelvin, we'll deal with it. And I can assure you, it's not something beyond our capacity to resolve. It's a challenge today, but there will be other challenges tomorrow. Our enemies are working day and night to find weaknesses in us which they can capitalize, which they can turn into propaganda, which they can use to deceive the people and undermine our struggles. We have made mistakes, we'll correct them. Correct them collectively. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you. God bless you, and we will speak to you later.
As Zambians, we need change, freedom of expression, and equal opportunity for every citizen.
Kwenye ndemwe chabe mabanja onanjala mkomo ndalama zonse mutumbalano masukwa kuchuluka pa mutupatu. Time is up, time is up. Kwenye not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. Time is up, time is up. Kwenye not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. Kanizanu ndizo panda pindu anakulira miseu mwatu tikufuna chilengede chato pano osati mapoke tanu opindika ndalama. Listen to the cries, they're louder than your lies. You can't silence the truth. It's time for the youth. Time is up, time is up. Kwenye is not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. Time is up, time is up. Kwenye not enough. Time is up for your lies and bluff. We rise, we stand, we fight together for the children, for a better forever. Kwenye kuna tapano, we take the rain. Tikonza jiko.